Hi, my name is Emily Johnson, and today I'm talking about women's rights. Women throughout history have had to fight for equal rights, pay, and treatment. Today I'm going to focus on female treatment compared to men, gender stereotypes, the pay gap, and the fight for equality. First, let's look at how women are treated in comparison to men. Let's start with some facts. In the workplace, only 1 in 5 school principals are women. 1 in 3 employees in the modern sector is also a woman. 1 in 83 women who have experienced sexual assault was by a colleague or employee. Now let's take a quick look at a video that explains more facts.
The situation for women in the workplace is not changing fast enough. Women make up 45% of entry-level positions across the workforce, which decreases to 32% at management roles. At the top, women only make up 17% of the C-suite. At the current rate of progress, it will be 100 years before we see real equality in the C-suite.
Thinking about there not actually being strong female rights change for another 100 years is something to really think about. In addition, here are some other facts that really stood out to me. There are only 3 women governors out of 47 in the United States. At home, 40% of women who have experienced sexual assault or physical assault ended up being from a partner, when men are only at 9% of that fact. Next, let's look at the pay gap between men and women. One of the first facts you probably see when talking about the pay gap is that women typically earn 79 cents for each dollar that a man makes. But in reality, there's a lot more to the pay gap than just this fact. Let's take a short look at this YouTube clip.
Showed that men had slightly higher salaries right out of the gate. 1 year out of business school, women were making an average salary of $115,000, while men earned $130,000. But 9 years out of business school, things looked really different. Men were earning an average salary of $400,000, while women were earning 60% less, $250,000 on average.
However, there are some people that still think that the pay gap is just a myth. According to a Forbes opinion article, the 78 cents to a dollar that a woman makes is not true because it does not take into consideration what men and women have done education-wise, years of experience, and hours worked. Even if we were going to take this fact out of the equation, there are still many other facts that can supply the argument that women and men are simply just not paid the same. Here are some more important facts about the pay gap. The gender gap most severely affects women of color. Women earn less than men in all but 5 occupations. Those occupations are wholesale and retail buyers, police officers, bookkeepers, accounting clerks, and general clerks. Women also make less than men in so-called pink-collar jobs, like maids, elementary and middle school teachers, and nurses. Nearly 40% of the wage gap cannot be explained by occupation, work experience, race, or union membership. Finally, the fight for equality. Here's a short clip of Emma Watson's speech at the UN for gender equality.
I started questioning gender-based assumptions a long time ago. When I was 8, I was confused being called bossy because I wanted to direct the plays that we would put on for our parents. But the boys were not. When at 14, I started to be sexualized by certain elements of the media. When at 15, my girlfriends started dropping out of their beloved sports teams because they didn't want to appear muscly. When at 18, my male friends were unable to express their feelings. I decided that I was a feminist, and this seemed uncomplicated to me. But my recent research has shown me that feminism has become an unpopular word.
Now let's watch a quick clip of Meghan Markle's speech at the UN about equality.
Now, equality means that President Paul Kagame of Rwanda, whose country I recently visited as part of my learning mission with UN Women, it means that he is equal to the little girl at the Gihembe refugee camp who is dreaming about being president one day. Equality means that UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon is equal to the young intern at the UN who is dreaming about shaking his hand. It means that a wife is equal to her husband, a sister to her brother. Not better, not worse. They are equal.
Overall, the fight for equality might take hundreds of years for all that we know. But I hope that this video showed you examples for women in comparison to men, the pay gap, and the fight for equality.